What's going on, everybody? All right, so I've been trying to get some stuff situated here. Let me see if I can get this camera in here. Um, I I ordered some more machines too, which kind of brought me to the conclusion of like, why do I keep buying them? I don't tattoo anymore. I don't have any intentions of tattooing anymore. I don't like dealing with people, and I sure as hell don't want to work at a shop where when some drunk person comes in, I have to deal with them, um, and all the other crap that goes along with it. So, tattooing is more than just like artwork and, applying a tattoo. There's there's a lot of crap that goes along with it. And really, it's kind of a young man's game, I think. But anyway, so I've been playing around with this machine here, this brass thing. I think this thing's been dropped a few times, possibly, before it got here. Let me see here. Okay. It is hitting my hand right here. So anyway, this thing. I think it's a little bit cocked over to the side, and also I feel like they didn't really cut this thing correctly. I had to go in and file it. The coils on this thing, and they're really nice. The weight to this thing, it's heavy. It is. If you don't like heavy machines, you would not want one of these. It is heavy. But what I like is that it sits up so low on my tube that, like, when I hold it, I get more of that. Where on, let me see if I can find another one. So an extreme example. This thing come off of here. Is going to be. This is a like severely short coil machine. These aren't even 28; they're like 25. So when you have a machine like this, which I hate, um, you're like this. So I would rather have the tall coils and the bottom of the machine closer to my hand. See how my tube is barely even long enough? So, um, anyway, I have been playing with certain ideas of certain things, and I was trying to think of like, um, how can I get rid of all these machines that I don't use, or should I just put them in a drawer and forget about them? But what I do is I like to find deals on really cheap machines that are amazing, or cheap machines that offer a really good value in parts to build your own. I'll take like 4 or 5 garbage machines and make one really good one. That's what I like to do. But my personal preference, I have no use for these really, really short coil frame machines. So this one here is super awesome. I mean, it's got the weight that I like. Most of these guys nowadays would bitch and complain about this. They say it's too heavy, and I mean, when you think about it, we got rotary guys that are complaining that certain rotaries vibrate too much. I mean, for Christ's sakes, man, you're, you know, you would be in trouble using a coil machine. I really feel like the world is turned into a bunch of fucking snowflakes. Uh, God damn. This tattoo pen vibrates too much. My wrist hurts. Holy fucking shit. Get a hold of yourselves. Seriously. So anyway, yeah, these are heavy too, and I like them. But if the machine is sitting like this other one, and it's heavy, what happens then like you've got this thing going like that. So I guess if you're a snowflake, that's definitely going to be a problem because your poor little wrist muscle and finger muscles can't handle the weight, or you can't hold it without going like that. But you really don't want this thing sitting up like that. I mean, because it is going to make it to where you could end up having shaky lines. So I understand that part of the weight aspect, but yeah, I don't know. I got to do something with all this stuff that I have. I guess I'm just fiddling around with stuff and tattooing silicone, oranges, grapefruits just for fun. And I don't really want to work on people anymore. I don't. And I haven't drawn since 2004. I haven't done any drawing since 2004. So, but what got me back into this was these new rotaries, these tattoo pens. Like, they didn't have these when I was an apprentice. They didn't have these when I started tattooing in prison, God knows how many years ago. I'm old, so, older. I started doing needle and thread and India ink tattoos when I was about 17 or 16 years old, probably 1992, 1993. And then I went to prison in 94, and I tattooed until I got out of there in 2004. So I've always felt pretty comfortable with rotary type of, machines like these. I love them. And I had a lot of trouble with the coil machines, and I never got as good as I could with the coil machines. So I think about 2012, I just kind of gave it up. I was done. Um, I think that's the last time I really tattooed anybody. A couple girlfriends here and there after that, but not really anything. And then I got all my stuff ripped off in 2016 out of a storage unit. They cut the lock and stole all my stuff that I had had for years. So I was pretty bummed out about that. So I didn't have any tattoo equipment really, except for a couple of power supplies that weren't in with everything else. And then earlier this year, I went into a thrift store and found the Dragonhawk power supply over here for $8. And I bought it. So then I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Let's buy a machine. So I think the first machine I bought was one of them ones kind of like this. And next one I think I bought was this one, and then I realized that they had aluminum wire in it. And that's when it dawned on me that, probably most of them were going to have that. So then I started to look for machines that didn't have that. So anyway, so that's why I have a lot of stuff. So basically, I can tell you which ones have aluminum wire. This one, and this one, and then that one. And then the rest are all copper. I've found ones that have real copper wire. I take that back. This is the first. These two right here are the first ones I bought. These are I guess they're technically Wormhole, but they're that other company, Padoi or Patio. And these actually, other than the fact that they sit like this, they're cast iron. They're very conductive. They don't need a lot of power, and they hit hard. And they work good. But I couldn't sit down and tattoo with these. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. I couldn't sit here and use these if I had other stuff. Sure, I can use anything. But anyway, So then I started to make frames, and I think I bought this machine for $22. It's a copy of a Spalding Rogers Puma, and it's heavy. It's copied down to the lever lock. Um, the difference with a Spalding, there would be flat screws, uh, slotted, I think, all the way around. And I do think it would have that there, and then I think on here there would be flattened end. That's one thing you can do with these. You can take these if you want to. You can put them on a piece of metal and just hit them with a hammer and flatten them. Um, this one actually has a silver contact. It's crazy. I don't know how they afford to do that. And the original armature bar had a copper contact point. But I've never gotten these to run the way that I want, and even after changing the coils. So that kind of just, sent me down the rabbit hole. And so I made this frame, had these coils out of another machine and all the hardware. And this is I cut pieces out of a plate and, spent a lot of time, welded it and welded it and welded it, bent it, drilled it. And this one, actually, I didn't even have a drill press when I made this one. So, and then I had to go to Harbor Freight and go get some taps and stuff. And I just decided to stick with the threading that's on Chinese machines. So, I started buying cheap machines and taking the parts off of them. And then I made this frame here. And I got to do a little bit more to this and get a different spring and bar. This is a one-piece spring. So I've never got this to run how I want either. So it just kind of sits there. So then I started to buy all the tattoo pens. I bought this one. And then I bought this one, which is really smooth. And then I think I bought this one that came with a battery. And I never really liked the shape of it. So I never really used it much. And plus it's kind of noisy. And then I think after that I ordered maybe a couple more coil machines. And then let's see. I'm trying to remember what I ordered after that. So this one here, I really like this one. It's smooth, it's quiet, it works good, it lines good, and I've used it on my own skin, so I know that for a fact. Then I ordered this one. It's extremely noisy, and it's okay. And then I bought this because it was $15, and it came in a case. It's almost kind of like a Spectra Flux almost, but it's just stupid DC jack on it. And then I decided to order this copy of Dragonhawk Mask Pro or whatever. And I think it's the same, actually, to be honest with you. And the battery sucks. It's a cool little machine for shading. It has a really, really short stroke, like 2.5, 2.8. So then I decided to buy one of these, and actually really like this thing, even though it's really cheap. Like, forget what it is, like about $8. So, and then after that, ordered one of these power supplies that I wanted back in the day when they first came out, when they were original and like $200. So I found that one for $20 on Amazon. So since then, I've just been kind of playing around with stuff and doing like this kind of stuff, which it took me a while to figure out this stuff because you really, really have to like bear down on this crap. Like, if you wouldn't be able to tattoo a person that way. I just sit there, kind of fiddle around with these, and they're kind of cool. Like I was gonna do like a whole bunch more of them, and just use them like as like mouse pads, you know. Um, but I was sitting here questioning, you know, like what am I really doing here? I'm like, I'm having fun. I'm buying crap for cheap off Amazon. I spend a lot of time searching Amazon and looking for discounts and deals. And then if there is anything wrong with the stuff whatsoever, I contact the seller and like I'll send them pictures like, hey, look, this is aluminum wire, you know. And so then what happens is they give me my money back. And so it's kind of interesting. So then you can like literally just try a bunch of different crap out. Um, but also, I've tried a bunch of frames that were not magnetic. This one here is a prime example of one that's not really magnetic. Um, so, because it is really hard to make a frame. I mean, like, I don't know how many hours I have into this frame here, and this thing was like $8. So it was totally worth the gamble of buying it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work right without a yoke. So, and it's too short for 32 millimeter coils. So basically, what I originally did is I had to stack my spring up on this back piece in order to have the right height. What I could do, if I really wanted to, is I could probably weld a piece of metal onto this here, grind it, and make it look like, you know, normal. But anyway, I got 28 millimeter coils, 2 yokes, and that. And I believe, if I remember correctly, this thing runs really good. Let me see. I'm always trying to get like a just, you know, the perfect shader, or I mean not shader, liner. Doesn't want to run. Come on. Well, I'm at 5.8 volts on this one for some reason. I might have bumped it earlier. I can't remember. Oh, I bumped the thing. So it's running at 144 at 61%. And it is nasty. Holy crap. So you don't want to run this at 8 volts. But what I keep doing is I keep bumping this because it's loose. And I think this needs to probably be like at like 6. Okay, you can hear it change right there. About 6. It's still hitting pretty hard. So this one came out of what did it come out of? It came out of I bought a kit that came with 2 machines like this. It's actually in a box over there. What I'll probably do, since I have so many things like this, and so many machines that like I'm never going to use, that are good enough to tattoo for like somebody that's new, is what I'll probably end up doing when we hit like 1,000 subscribers on the channel. I'll start doing giveaways on stuff, and then because after you hit 1,000 subscribers, then you monetize your channel. Like I have another channel that I do for my amateur radio stuff, and I make like $1 to $2 or $3, $4, $5 a day. So you figure, you know, if you make like $50 a month, you know, I mean, you can buy a couple of junk tattoo machines for $50 every month and review them, you know, for free. So once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll probably just I'll start giving this stuff away. Maybe I don't know. I'd have to ship it, you know. So I know some people like to like give stuff away and then they make the person pay for the shipping, but really it's not who wants to do that, you know? And then it just gets complicated. So I would have to pay to ship, you know, whatever. I'd have to pay to give it away. But that's just the way it goes. So, or I just put them all in a drawer and forget about them, you know, I mean, they're just, you know, they're all like okay for like learning and getting started, but like, you know, once you figure out what you're going to want to use, then, you know, and a lot of people want to learn to tattoo and they don't ever really, you know, they don't ever really get good enough to where like, you know, stick with it, you know. I guess I'm probably one of those people too. So anyway, I'm like sitting here going, well, what am I doing with all this crap? So, but lately I've been finding some really, really cool stuff. This pen right here. I mean, like if I had to choose everything, or well, you know, one thing or whatever, I would throw everything out, and this is all I would need right here. Because sorry about the radio going in the background.
The Mount Eldon 462.575 megahertz repeater, operated by KAD 8028.
So, and I bought the other machine because I can take the giant grip off of it, and I can put a smaller grip on it. So, I like the coils, but like, yeah, seriously, if I had to pick, then it would just be this, you know. That's what I would do. And I literally could just get rid of all this other stuff, get rid of all these power supplies. I don't need no cords, you know, nothing. I've had this thing for like a month and I haven't even charged the battery yet. I don't even know how many hours I have on it. Quite a few. It jump starts to 12 volts and then it goes back down. It's just like it's super smooth. 4.0 stroke. You can change the stroke wheel if you want to. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, these and the Ambitions and all the other ones they're very, very similar. So I bought this one here from Kiss a Dragon, and it's a little bit cheaper. You can tell where they've like cut some of the corners. It's basically a flux with a different grip, but it comes with the two different grips, and it's $89. It's like, wow, $89. You get a case and all this stuff. You get a battery. They even give you a cord. They even give you a spare 4.0 cam wheel, washers, O-rings, and a damaged Allen wrench. And then you even have the RCA adapter in here. You know, so if I was to just like have to get rid of everything, I would go with these ones right here. I'll show you. Like if you don't like the gigantic grip on the EXO clone, you just order one of these machines for $89 and put this grip on it. And you see the difference in the size. And this one comes with two sizes of grips. So if that's too big, you can go down even smaller to what's on this one. And also, they sell a flux clone machine that's cloned all the way down to this part. It just says hello on it right here. Now this one here, the battery's interchanged too. The battery is slightly different on this. It starts at 8 volts. It doesn't jump start unless you have it below 8 volts. So if you have it at 5 and you pause it, and you turn it back on, it's going to jump up to 8. And it's hardly noticeable. But this is also a little bit different than the other one just because they cut some corners. On this one, there's no O-ring right here. There's a little rubber O-ring here that's really nice touch. It just, I think it cuts down any kind of vibration. Also, when you take the motor out here, there's an Allen, and there's an O-ring down in here on this one. So the if you take this off of here, okay, you've got the two different motor bodies, and if it wasn't for the O-ring, I mean, like, and the one says hello and one says EXO, I don't really know that you would be able to tell the difference. Um, the cam wheel is a little cheaper in this one, and the one in this has a really big counterbalance. So, but they still run pretty close to the same. So, if I had to choose, this is exactly what I would do. I would get rid of all that, and I would have these two machines right here. I'd have my main one, and this would be my backup. And, I wouldn't think twice about it. So, you know, um, coils are cool, but, I mean, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff you're going to have to learn. And they're not as easy to see the needle with, There's a lot of reasons why this is probably going to be the wave of the future, and won't see very many coils anymore, I don't think. But I still play around with them because I'm not a tattoo artist. I'm not. I've been apprenticed. I've worked at a shop. I've tattooed hundreds of people. But I'm not really any good at it. I haven't drawn in over 20 years. So the most drawing I do is practicing on this. So anyway, I just kind of started this channel just to play around with these, document what I'm doing, share a little bit of information that I do have with you guys, and, just have fun. So that's what we're really here for. We're here to have fun. And we're here to learn if we can. And there's guys that come on the channel that probably know a lot more than me. And, so that's cool. But anyway, I kind of just sort of like reflecting on like, what am I up to? What am I doing? And, why am I so addicted to looking for cheap machines on, Amazon? Like, I bought this one, and I thought that for sure it was going to be a pot metal frame that was painted to look like it was brass. And when it showed up, and I went and grabbed the thing out of the mailbox in the bag, I was like, whoa, did they give me two of them? And then I brought it out here, and I thought, wow, you got to be kidding me. This has got to be fake. So, I noticed that this was on incorrectly, and it was bent, so I undid it. And then I looked and I saw, wow, the threads are, they're brass, they're bronze, they're golden. So, immediately, like, I seriously, like, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes later, I was on Amazon. I ordered a second one. And then I noticed that this was a little crooked on this one. And so I went on Amazon about an hour later, and I ordered a replacement for this one. And this is what I figured. You'll probably never see these again on Amazon because the seller put these on there for $9.99, and everything else that looks like this is $29 to $100 on eBay and Amazon. The seller had 7 of these left when I ordered this, and so now it's like 4 or 5 or whatever. So I figure once these are gone, we're never going to see these again on Amazon. It's certainly not for $9. Now, after I ordered this one, they reduced the price to $8.68. So the other one that I ordered that will be here tomorrow was $8.68. The replacement that I ordered for this, I figure what I'll do is I will keep the best one and send back the worst one. Or if I really want, I can just keep all 3 of them. I'll call Amazon and just tell me to charge me for the other one, and ask them if I can actually like just pay the current price for the other one. But whatever it is, it's $9.99 plus tax, or it's going to be $8.68 plus tax. We're never going to see these again at that price. It's just not going to happen. So that's why I figured, well, you know what? I don't know. They look cool on the wall. I mean, why not, right? Man, I think it is. This is a heavy machine, man. Let me tell you. So as soon as I have a reason to do some tattooing on my leg, I'm going to use it on there to do some line work, touch up. I'm just waiting for some stuff to heal, and I'll let you guys know. So basically, I think that's the only thing like really I'm up to is like trying to re-hone my skills maybe a little bit, and then I've got a bunch of stuff on my legs that I want to fix up. You know, maybe I might accidentally fuck around and get back into tattooing other people, but I really don't want to. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but you know, I'm not really certain what I'm up to anymore. I know I like to collect things. I collect radios. I collect this. I collect that. You know, everything I do, I collect. But I'm trying not to do that anymore. I'm just like have just the stuff that I need. So I probably need to clear this whole area out and just kind of focus on doing artwork. You know, and if I could, I would actually I'd build frames and I'd build machines and sell them. But the thing is, nobody buys coil machines anymore. So there's no money in it. It's not like it was 20 years ago. So anyway, guys, I think I've rambled for 30-something minutes. If you got anything out of this, then you probably need to go to an AA meeting. Thanks for watching.